What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog. I am in a great studio session today with none other than Ron Hendricks out of Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome to the show, Ron.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Ron, I'm super thrilled to interview you today because you have over 30 years of wealth and knowledge about the real estate industry, our economy, and where people can go forward, especially as a builder and a realtor. One of the things I want to highlight is you're in Arizona, and you're one of those California people who left California to move to Arizona. How long ago was that?
1985, so about almost 35 years ago.
And so was Arizona super cheap then?
Super cheap. No rush hour, nothing.
So what made you or what led you into real estate as an agent, as a builder? What got you into that marketplace?
When I was younger, coming up, I've always been fascinated with real estate. I just didn't know nothing about it. So what I did, older guy seen me and was like, "You like real estate?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "That guy over there can teach you some stuff." And I just walked on the construction job, told him I worked for free. He taught me all the phases.
Man, listen, work for free. I'll teach you everything.
That's what I did.
So one of the things I think kind of makes people nervous is, the economy, Ericka. It's different now. This economy is way different, and the inflation. And what are some of the things you've seen over the course of your years in real estate and the markets?
The economy shifts about every 10 years or so. Mm-hmm. It goes up or it goes down. This has been the longest ride on the uptrend since I think about 2010, 2011. Mm-hmm. We're in 2023 now. So that's been a long uptrend. So a lot of people are shook up looking for this uptrend now that the market has shifted like it normally does. But you still have opportunities to make money building in real estate.
For sure. One of the funniest things is I was calling you during the pandemic, and you were saying how you kind of avoided the office. The real estate agents were sitting in the office, but they weren't really going out working. How were you making deals during the pandemic?
Actually, that's what we was joking about. I don't think my feet hit the ground from 2020 until 2022. Mm-hmm. They were in the office, sitting down, doing the normal things, wondering why I'm in and out while I was doing deals. People was moving from California to Arizona. And at that time, if you ran an ad on Google, as soon as you seen an out-of-state number, that was a sale. I knew that from my marketing background. So I just stayed busy.
So we know 500,000 people left California. They didn't all go to Arizona, but a ton did. What have the changes to the Arizona economy been?
It's been a steady uptick. Mm-hmm. You got a constant movement of people moving in, 5,000, 6,000 a month. And then you got new construction everywhere, north, south, east, and west. And now you have a rush hour. Right. And so you're a builder, and, if you listen to some people out here, there's no materials, there's no supplies, everything's crashing, I can't get anything done. But I've noticed you steadily working and building and selling homes. What's been the secret? There's no secret, and that's the problem. People think it's secrets. You just have to be out there in the field. You cannot do this from the classroom. You have to be in the field, learning what's going on, relationships with contractors, relationship with vendors. That's really it.
Well, one that's controversial, but I had to bring it up. Many people on my channel, the Latino industry, the Latinos have locked down the housing industry. They build everything. There's no way for a black guy to even get his hands in the door. What's your experience in that, Ron?
That's like a loaded question because you know what I do. You've
Yep.
seen what I do. You've seen me operate and work well with Latinos. I work with them well, and I work with our people well. It's just relationships, understanding how to take care of people, understanding that, they have families just like you do. Everybody got a common goal. If you got the trade and you want the job done, you can just hire them to do it. I don't see the problem now. As far as the language barrier, 9 times out of 10 with technology now, some of them will text me if they don't know English and it'll translate, or they'll get a family member on the phone and we'll just talk about it.
For sure. Ron, a testament to your good treatment of your employees and the people you work with, you had surgery and you were down for 3 weeks and all your projects went without a hiccup.
Yeah. So I got the timelines on that. So think it was December 29th. I went and got eye surgery on my right eye for glaucoma. So while I was at home, my plumber, he did the first part, which is putting the underground plumbing in. And then he called let me back that up. The first part is the stem walls for the concrete. That's my concrete guy. He put the stem walls in, then he called the plumber. Hey, man, where's the underground plumbing? He comes, put the underground plumbing in. My plumber then calls the concrete guy, tell him it's in. He then calls the termite treatment guy. He comes and sprays it. Now we got a slab with plumbing in it. Once the slab is there, the concrete guy calls the framer. They call me Ronaldo, not Ron. They call me Ronaldo. So he comes, frame the house. I come out the house, fresh off surgery, go down to check on the project thinking it's still dirt. It's a whole house up.
And this is because of the strength of how you treat people.
That's right. They already know.
Yeah, they know you got the check.
And they know that once I get a permit, it's go time.
It's go time. Ron, sometimes I think you told us a story where a guy was not talking to them well and they left the job site.
Yeah.
Does that happen?
All the time. So what specifically happened to me was this guy, he came down, Scottsdale, Arizona is kind of like one of the wealthiest places.
Very posh.
Yeah.
Very hoodoo.
He came down and he said, why are these guys telling me that they're not going to work for me unless you are managing the project? And I'm like, did you ask them? He like, they just said they want to work for you. But what he was doing was rushing them, telling them what they're going to do, telling them he needs this timeline, blowing up their phone every day as if they don't have families, calling them on Sunday, which is a no-no.
No.
So they didn't like the way they was treating them. So they kind of just jumped on my side like, if he's not doing it, we're not doing it. Because we like the way he treats you. He comes from Phoenix, an hour away, and he take care of us, but you don't.
Wow.
Small world.
Listen, you guys, the number one thing I've learned in business and in life is relationships matter and communication matters. And if you can't make it right, you should call somebody and try to make it right.
Exactly.
Right? Some of the people are like, man, it sounds easy because you're in Arizona, you're making it happen. But you've helped students in California. You've helped people on the East Coast. You've helped people in South Carolina. Over the phone. Finish their projects.
That's right.
Why? Where's that come from?
For me, I hate to see people struggle. I come from the struggle. So if I see a quality in you, I'm quick to recognize it and get you on the right track.
Right.
So there's been a number of people that just met me less than a year and they have property. Like, you've seen them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just kind of just what I do. You can't get all this experience and knowledge and not pass it on. At a certain age, give up something.
Right.
So
pass something on.
Yeah.
Sorry. Part of my thought process is in a little history of us is you actually watched my YouTube channel.
Yes.
A couple years ago, and I told people, get up off that couch, go on out there, get a second wind to you.
Yeah.
Get out there and dominate an area that you can dominate, and that turned into what?
Okay, so let me tell the story.
Okay.
The story time. So I've been listening to you for about 7 years. And I'm like, I really like her. She's doing what I used to do. All the books that I've read, she's like breaking them down and really teaching people. Like, she really has a good teaching heart. So I'm like, okay. So I was just listening. I'm not a millennial or nothing like that, but I'm like, man, each time you say something, I would actually use it and go make money. I'm like, wow. I forgot about that. She talking about this. I forgot about that. Yeah. So fast forward, I got to meet you last year in, what was that, July?
It was May.
Okay. We met in Florida. And I'm like, wow, she even better in person. I think I told you that. You even, your personality is even better in person. And I kind of told you what I did. But the thing was, I was at that event. It was another building event. I was there because she mentioned another group. And I ended up Googling the guy, finding the guy, getting online. and I started building again. I wasn't building for like 15 years. I had stopped because I was like tired of building, just doing it with my hands and stuff. But he said one word, 2 words, paper contractor.
Yep.
Ding, 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 ding. I'm back.
Back with a vengeance.
Back with a vengeance. You know, less than a year later, 5 houses up and counting.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
And you have a stack of permits and papers coming.
Yeah.
And the fact that you were easy to jump in and help people just kick back up.
Yeah.
That's like a skill, a wisdom that's just like out of experience.
Yeah, out of experience. All the years of working for free, heartaches, everything, up and down markets, in and out. I mean, you name it, I've been through it. Yeah. Loss of family members, everything.
For sure.
But like the young boy said, you off the couch killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're off the couch. You know, and I think people think they're going to start their entrepreneur journeys or builder journeys, however you want to say it, and they'll never take any losses. They never take any L's. You were out there in 2008 in Arizona. You got to see it firsthand.
Yeah, that happened to be the worst one, but I was also there in 89, 90.
Yeah.
When the RTC just came to Arizona, the Resolution Trust, they came and just shut down the banks. So you got money in the bank. Just imagine going to the bank, your money ain't there. I was there.
I'm going to go to somebody's house.
Yeah, no, it wasn't nothing that. And then they did one bigger. They one-upped it and went to the builders and shut them down and just auctioned off everything.
Wow.
Like, they shut the whole town down. Like, they basically turned it back into a cowboy town.
Wow.
But me, being around the guys I was around, we started buying up houses. At that time, the team that I was working with, we was doing like 120 houses a year. So I kind of was groomed for, like, down times per se, so they taught me get excited when the recession comes. So
get in the field.
Yeah, get in the field.
The reason I brought you on the channel and we have an event where I'm gonna help you co-host coming up in April. But the biggest reason was there's so many people promoting doom and gloom and just sit on your couch and hold your coins and buy some extra cheese but if we look out here, the opposite's happening. They building, BlackRock buying up everything in Atlanta. There's a momentum over there. And I think it's are we in the right side of things? So many times I hear African-American folks saying housing prices. And, you know, you go, well, are you pre-approved to buy a house?
Yeah.
Are you ready to buy your own home, right? I have a friends and some are in Dallas and they'd always talk about, I've been telling you to buy homes in Dallas for 10 years, you know, like, and Dallas went up, right? Yeah. Same thing in Houston. I have a friend in Houston who's like, hey, buying I think it's the fifth or third ward, right? And they didn't, and now they're getting ready to pour $1 billion investment down there in parts of Houston. Yeah. And so people get left behind, but you're in a prime example of, you can be a black man, run construction sites full of anybody working for you, technically, and thrive.
Yeah.
Part of what I'm hoping coming up in April 28th through the 30th, or really 29th through the 30th, is that people get to come and see it live and in person.
They will.
And again, you know, part of my hope is that when they see it, the excuses go out the door. Anything's possible, right? Whether it's down or up, anything's possible. Ron, what are one of the things that if you could think of, whether it's credit, money, any of these, what is the number one thing they need to be able to, like, I say two things they need to get started building this year in America?
First of all, I'm on a low information diet. So mindset is important. You definitely don't want to think like everybody else.
Right.
Second thing is get around people who are not just going to have you in a classroom. When you leave and you start investing your hard-earned money and you start making those mistakes, that's when you need somebody.
Right.
If you start moving forward.
Right.
Like we say, if the machine is in motion, you'll be fine.
For sure.
But it has to be a machine of people. That's what I'm talking about.
Community.
Yeah, community.
Funny thing is, we went on a little journey out here in the DFW area the other day, and I ended up saying, hey, man, there's this guy, he can help us. I called him, and he showed up. You're like, I know that guy. Is it just a small world? Is it just a few people who are building? Is it just a few people who are doers? What is that? What do you think that
It's
comes
both. It's a small world and there's a few people that's doing it. But that guy in particular, we was at a mastermind together, kind of just hanging out, just really vibing. Like, and I was telling him, like, he's a carbon copy of me. And what I mean by that is not that, we're like, it's just he's ready to build with the right people. He's ready to have a machine in motion. So he's like me. If you come to my town and you pull up, I'm going to pull up too. I'll change my schedule because I see you serious about doing something. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So we're attracting those kind of people. Like, yeah. And so I wasn't surprised when I seen him. Like, okay, yeah, he's a real deal.
For sure, for sure. So April 29th and 30th.
Yeah.
We get to ride into the big Arizona. I'm going to have my sunblock ready.
Yeah. And a hat.
And a hat, because it's going to be, what, about 80 to 85 out there in April?
You dreaming. It might be like 90-something.
Okay, listen, we're going to be ready. We're planning on taking a good-sized group of people, and we're going to teach them in, 2 days? What are we going to, some things we'll be teaching them? And really you, because I'm just there.
Yeah, we'll go over mindset first. We'll go over where to get the money, how to get the money, how to get the land, and how to get what they call entitlements, which are plans and permits, architects, stuff like that. We'll even have real estate agents there, probably a few contractors as well.
Okay.
So, and we'll get to go out and see actual properties, and we'll also get to the people that attend will have an opportunity to invest right then and there.
Awesome. They'll be able to buy their own land lots.
Yeah, they'll be able to make it happen if they want to make it happen.
For sure. When we went out to Arizona, we saw Lucid Motors, a couple big companies. Kind of break down what's the movement to Arizona, like the companies.
So there's a lot of tech. So in Arizona, you have Google, you have Intel that's been there for years, you have Apple, you have all the big name brand tech brands, and a few that I don't even remember. You have Kahlua, which is like a battery company. So you have Lucid, which is a car company, and electric cars, by the way. So Kahlua, just about a month ago, they just moved to Arizona. So they moved from California to Arizona. And they're coming there, and, it's going there. 2030, I believe, you can't even drive a gas car in California. So the industry is moving there, and these people need housing. A lot of these people are blue collar workers, but some of them are CEOs. They need houses too. So they're coming to the area. So there's towns to where people think, oh, there's nothing out there. But when they get out there, you've been out there, it's like all of a sudden, all these hammers and nails are swinging like, wow, what's going on out here? And you can't even see nothing until you go back and see the industry that's driving the town.
Right. What was the closest town in California from Phoenix? Is which one?
Blight. And then you got what San Diego is closer to.
So people leave San Diego and drive how many hours?
5.
5?
Yeah. And they live in LA, you drive 6. Whew. I used to drive it all the time. That's where I came from.
Right. What's the price difference? If I'm in California and there's a similar, let's say there's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house in Arizona, what's the price difference?
There's 2 differences. Number one, you got an option to buy it brand new. That's the biggest difference people like when they see a brand new house for $400,000. Knowing in California, you can't get a brand new nothing for $400,000 unless you go just miles and miles out. But like everybody want to be in LA, Hollywood, next to all that, New Ram Stadium, all that. Man, you need $1 million. And it's gonna be a 1-2 bedroom.
Oh God!
And the rent gonna be about $3,500. So why would you do that when you can live in a brand new house, fly back home and enjoy the festivities and fly back out? I've been doing it for years. I always go back and forth to LA. So yeah, it's just a better investment with your money. And you can have rentals, you can have Airbnb, you can have everything in California. Only thing you can't have is a beach.
That part. Are snowbirds impacting this? Is that what do you call it? Scottsdale?
They impact pretty much all of Arizona. There's towns that thrive when the snowbirds come. And what snowbirds are is people that come in from like cold climates. Man, it's a lot of Canadians come there every year. They come like as soon as it cool off, like They'll be there in like September, and they'll stay all the way till like March, April. So that's like a flood of money coming into the town.
Right.
That's just one. Then you got people moving from California. You got people moving from Chicago. You got people moving from the East Coast. I mean, because in Arizona, the winter is not winter. It's actually spring in most places. So you're talking the winter, the lows is like 50, and it barely hits that. And the highs are like 60, 75 degrees. And the sun is always out. Like, it's clear blue skies every day. It could be snowing, but it's clear blue skies in Arizona.
I like it.
Yeah.
Now, kind of go back towards housing. How long does it take you on average to build a house?
The way we're doing it now, you got to keep in mind, I just came back. So my prior partners was doing the one house a year. We got 5 in less than a year. So we got like at the same time. So anywhere from 3 to 4 months.
Right.
I can bang one out in 3 months. I just be coasting because sometimes people say I move too fast. I don't think so. I just know how to move.
And when you said bang one out, you really in the car watching. Paper.
I don't have a hammer. I don't have none of that. I just got a tape measure.
Do you have a toolbox?
Absolutely not.
Do you have a pickup truck?
Absolutely not.
So, again, so many people say, Ericka, you don't understand. I got to know all these things. I got to build. I'm like, hey, I think you can do it.
See, but you know, and you've seen me in action like multiple times. So you like, wow. But that's just what it is. It's like that experience and understanding, man, you can't do everything. That's the whole reason I'm here. I connected with you. I connected with others. That's just the whole reason I'm here. You cannot do everything yourself.
Right. You
can really move if you move together.
For sure. You know, there's people online like, man, you know, builders are just so greedy. They're making all this money. How dare them? What are some realistic, walk away money a person can walk away? You can give us a range.
Like, I would say 50, 60. I don't have a whole bunch of money. Like, it ain't about the money. You know, we get there, but online, I don't do online. This is like my debut with you. I don't even do it because it's like, we just got to get to it.
Yeah.
You know, we already behind as a people. We got to get to it. Man. We can't. To me, that's nonsense because you can make the money. You can make, if you do one house and build slow, you can make like 50 to 100,000.
Right.
You really can if you just take your time and get it in.
You know, the other day I had a young lady say, hey, man, I just got approved for $200,000. I'm going to try to buy a duplex. And I said, where? I literally told her, I said, where? You in Central Texas? Where, are you going to Killeen? You going to Salado?
Yeah.
You going an hour and 50 minutes from here? I said, the best bet for you is going to be to build it from the ground up.
That's right.
Because really, we could build it for, 50% of the cost?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah. And it depends on if the prices go down. Like people hollering still 6 months ago, lumber is up, lumber is down. So it's like, it's always that lag. People don't understand what's happening in the market. People are saying we're in a recession. Houses are not selling. Well, in Arizona, it just picked up.
Yeah, it picked up for January.
Up, February's up. So it's like, you just have to know that. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier. You have to be outside, as a friend of mine says, or in the game. In the mix of it. Yeah, you have to. You really do. To understand what's going on in the market. It's not on the news. It's in your area where it's happening. For sure.
You know, one of the things I wanted to touch on and that really inspired me this past weekend is we saw you like taking under the tutelage several young black men.
Yeah.
Who, you know, they watching the internet. They like, we can do it. We're going to jump out the wall and do something crazy. And you're like, wait. Wait, you need to follow somebody with some experience, with some seasoning.
Yeah.
What are some of your goals on that? Does it matter who the person is that comes up to you? Or, you know, has it been kind of inspiring to work with younger black men? You know, you just...
So, I come from the inner cities of Watts, right? Like the worst part, they call it the bottoms, right? So that's where I come from. So, and our thing is, we have an organization that we've been like working on silently for years. Like it's called Winning Against All Odds. So we know we can win against all odds because we still here. Yeah. So when I see young black men, it could be young Latino, just whoever really, or a young white guy or a young Asian guy. It's just, if you pointing in that direction, and I can help you win, that's what we're going to do.
For sure.
Without it costing me a lot of time and headache.
Yeah, they gotta listen though.
You gotta listen. That's the key word. You gotta listen. And you gotta have some motivation and have your mind right and be ready to go. That particular young guy, he met me, and within 3 months he got a house under contract, and I done saved him over $100,000 just by him knowing me.
I love it. As
he say, the OG.
For sure.
So yeah.
One of the things I think we're going to end up talking about in the future on another interview, but just touch on it brightly, is what do you see as far as low-income housing?
Man, first of all, there's levels to it.
For sure.
So it's called affordable housing. So you got low income and you got affordable, but there's sectors within affordable housing. Mm-hmm. So you might have Section 8, but then you have another voucher where people are like firemen, policemen, they got a voucher. Mm-hmm. And they rent. So just put it this way. Affordable housing, low income, could be $2,000 a month.
Right.
So if you're building a house and you got a mortgage on it for about $1,300 a month, you do the math if you rent it out as affordable housing. That's just a house. If you get into multifamily, the numbers just quadruple. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really good to be in that area, because what happened in 2008, when the market crashed, the builders stopped building. Mm-hmm. But the demand, remember I said earlier, that was a whole run from like 2000, that's like 12, 13 years of an uptick in market with no inventory.
Right.
You heard the buzzword, there's no inventory.
Right.
Because builders wasn't building. Mm-hmm. Now they back out building. Now you're seeing hammers, nails, cranes everywhere because we got a shortage. We got like about a 10-year shortage on housing. While they talking recession. Mm-hmm. So builders are building, and they're actually making an impact and actually turning everything around. Right. At the same time, you got the government building rental homes.
Right.
Like there's like hundreds of rental communities that I haven't drove you by those yet, but yeah, we drove by one. I just couldn't point. It was dark that night.
Yeah.
They build like what they call build to rent communities. So you got 100 houses that are all for rent, brand new.
Right.
So those are really like upscale apartments. They're just houses. A nice park in the middle, and that's what it is.
I like it. Part of why, you know, and I'm gonna keep you here all day, but part of why I love my future working with you is because I talked about conferences and in-person masterminds.
Yeah, that's right.
And you've been going to conferences and masterminds for 30 years. What do you see different between now and maybe like the 80s, 90s? Because I remember you telling me
90s,
offline,
I ain't that old.
Listen,
90s,
man, all right.
96 is when I started going to conference.
Okay, 96, we're gonna do it.
The difference is, let me put it to you like this. In the 90s, when I used to go to conference, I was the only one. Right. It would be like 5,000 people. I would be literally the only one. Right? And the conferences would be like from 7 in the morning to 10 at night for 5 days. Yeah, I know. So it was a grind, you know, and I knew then when I stepped into that arena, I was like, this is where I need to be.
Right.
I'm not a worker. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm a straight up entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So like I knew then, like, so as time progressed, of course they wore me down. Cause you know, when you the first person to step out, people tend to wear you down. Like, oh, that ain't nothing. What you know, you paid $1,000 for a notebook. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But they'll pay $1,000 at the liquor store.
Right.
So, and other things that they don't need. So I was just like, you know, one of those persons, I was like, man, y'all don't see it. And it bothered me because it's like, these are my peers. These are people that's close to me. So I just kept going, though.
Yeah.
And a lot of heartache, all kind of stuff happened, you know, all kind of stuff. You name it, I got it. So, but I kept going. And now I'm like, wow, where do these people come from? The internet, people learn it, but the missing link, they not getting to it. They buying these programs and they not really getting to it like they could. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that I see.
They asking a million questions and taking no action.
Yeah. We got to get the people moving.
For sure.
In the right direction. In the money direction, of course.
Yes. I love it. Listen, thank you. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming out. First time out here at Class Climb. You know, listen, you guys, join me. I'll probably do a little opener, soften the room up, laugh a little bit. April 29th and 30th, from the ground up construction conference in Phoenix, Arizona. Great time. We're going to get on a bus, ride out, physically touch and see. I I think, this is a great opportunity for you to buy land that's ready to go. It's ready to kick off. I hope you guys will click in the description for more details. But Ron, they're gonna there's a Calendly link. They can reach out and they can contact you.
They really can.
If they can't make it in April, they can get on the phone with you.
Yeah, and once you come to the event, I know how it is to get home. You spent your last money. You ate peanut butter sandwiches there. We did all that. Crackers. Just make it blow up on your stomach with a little water so you can be full. Yeah. We did all that. So we'll help you. Somebody in the machine will get on the phone and help you through the next process when you get home. Or there'll be services available for us to actually fly out to where you at and help you out.
For sure. Man,
this ain't the norm.
It ain't.
This is the new.
There you go. Listen, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog, out here with builder extraordinaire, 30-year track record, Mr. Ron Hendricks. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time, and we'll see you guys April 29th and 30th in Phoenix, Arizona.